Okay. All right. It is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024, and we're coming in live from Washington, the Pacific Northwest of the United States. This is JNO Live, and I'm going to send you over to our host, JohnnyNerdOut.
You have the crowd applause music going right now?
No. Sorry.
You don't?
I forgot. Did you want me to cue that?
Crap. Well, I probably look like an idiot there now.
My bad.
All right. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Happy Friday night.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Okay, I didn't see your intro. Happy Wednesday night, everybody. Glad you could join us. We're going to have a good time tonight. We got Shane on the news. We got some news articles we're going to go over. We're going to do a bike find. We're going to do just e-bike news. And most importantly, we're going to be chatting with you guys. If you guys got something you want to talk about, address, you got questions, put it in the chat. We're going to do our best to get to it. And who knows, maybe later we're probably going to open up our phone lines if you got something that's just burning and you're like, hey. Essentially, it's like a free consultation if you guys want to turn it into that. Or, if you got something that's really some hot goss that you need to share with us, it's also for that too. What else would they call in for? I don't know.
Just to say hi.
Yeah, you could just do that too. Just say what's up.
Tell a joke. Just a classy joke.
Okay. All right. All right, cool. Without any further ado, let's get right into the show. Shane, you got some news for us. Let's keep us.
Yeah. Hold on. I usually try to start off with a joke, but I don't think anyone notices that's a joke. So now I'm going to say how blatantly this is going to be a joke.
You should have a disclaimer that says this is currently a joke being told.
Right now, a joke is being told.
This is the setup part, and then at the very end, you can be like, this is now the punchline section of this joke. Maybe you should just say it.
All right, this is a joke. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, did you say you were getting your house, like your roof, checked out?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a new roof?
Yeah, I got a new roof.
Oh, I did too. I got it for free.
How so?
Well, the guy that did it said it was on the house. That was a joke. All right. News. All right, let's talk about the news. I don't think there was anything too crazy going on, but so Arizona's got some new laws that they're putting into place. We're gonna find something new that should be. Look at this website. Look at this webpage. Look at these ads.
I know.
I tried to I went through and I clicked the close on all of these.
And then it just comes right back.
They just come back.
And there's another Google ad thing. Yeah,
they're nonstop. Okay, so Arizona, they're setting different classes for their e-bikes. Let's see, what are my notes at here? So basically they need to qualify as an e-bike. So it needs to have pedals, so they say that if it's under 750 watts, that's fine. That's technically a bicycle.
And it'll be treated as a bicycle.
Treated as a bicycle.
That's the big important thing is that if people are like, oh, because you see those signs that say no motor vehicles and stuff. Yeah. But if it's under 750 watts, your e-bike is going to be treated as a bicycle. So, yeah, I think that's very important. But it is weird. It says under 750 watts, right?
Power rating. I don't know. That might have that was just part of my.
But I'm curious if that's like was that a legal ease thing on purpose? Because most motors are 750 watts. So
pedal-equipped electric bicycles with motors under 750 watts. See? Topping speeds of 20 or 28 miles per hour based on class.
But is that just? I'm just curious if that's them not knowing, like, being lazy or not really knowing, or is that like a very, they did that on purpose so that they could get people with 750 watt motors in trouble.
I could have done my job better and just found the actual, the laws that were. I could pull it up and.
I don't think you're going to find that out. I don't think you're going to find their intention behind it.
There's something written somewhere.
Yeah.
What it.
But even if that's what it says, 750 watts, less than 750 watts, that's the law. I mean, if it's 750 watts, you're technically not legal. There's no like inferring it, but it's like I don't know. It's like the 650cc motorcycles.
Let's see what this is.
Are all 649cc.
So okay, this is gilbertarizona.gov. There we go. We could figure this out as we go here. Motors of less than 750 watts. So the same thing it says here.
Right. I don't think that they're gonna really show like the intention or like the whatever behind it. I think that's just what it is. I'm just curious if whoever drafted this knew what they were doing, or if that was. I mean, why not just make it 501 watts? Because usually you go 250, 350, 500, 750. So
that's just how they get you. But
weird.
I don't know. I'm sure you could ride around Gilbert's Arizona with a 1,000-watt motor and still be fine. But I think that they might be cutting down more on like bikes like Surons and the ones that like don't have pedals. They have to legally like register it as a bike, like as a motorcycle, and get like plates.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I really like the Surons and I like that style of bike and that motorcycle, but it is giving kind of the e-biking community kind of a black eye because I think a lot of irresponsible people are riding them and they're kind of putting a black eye on it. But those bikes are awesome, so I don't want to see those go away. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that, but holding people responsible, I guess. I don't know.
I guess other than 750 watts, what would you put? What would you put a limit for wattage if you're a lawmaker? I mean, would you set a watt limit?
It's weird. I don't know, because right now it's like still nobody's adopting e-bikes really. I mean, it's definitely we had an explosion of it, but when you think about day to day, you talk to people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about getting one of those." Everyone's thinking about getting one, or they know someone who has it, but we're still at a very small adoption percentage rate. So what do you mean
adopting? What do you mean?
Like, how many people have e-bikes that you know of, besides me?
How many?
Do you know a lot of people?
52 people.
Well, like in your friend, people that you know and you come in contact with.
All right.
So and you're talking to them about e-bikes. Do they generally have like?
So you're just saying the overall percentage of people with bikes, the percentage of people that have
e-bikes is very low.
It's like
versus people who have a car, I would say like almost 90%. People who have an e-bike, maybe 1%.
I could find out those statistics. I'm pretty sure it's like 20%.
But that's a long story of trying to say like how would I make the law is, am I going currently off of the 1% who own it, where it's like we're still kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say outlaws, but we're still like the super.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need tons of legislation just yet. It's when we get there's so many bikes going on, that's when we need to maybe corral the.
Yeah, but we have like
craziness.
Stories of like death and stuff happening in the news, and like there's like fear mongering, from. I mean, like it's rarely happening, but it's happening enough that it's like newsworthy topics, and they're like, oh, electric bikes, e-bikes, they're at it again.
But I mean, people are dying,
killing
with,
moms.
Pocket knives too. People are dying on.
But there's pocket knife like rules, right?
I don't know.
Can't bring them on an airplane.
That's true. You can't bring an e-bike on an airplane.
I mean, are you sure?
Yeah.
Maybe just not the battery. I bet you if you had a folding e-bike, you could.
Yeah. But you can't do damage. You can't. I don't know if you could kill yourself without a battery on your e-bike.
All right.
All right.
So, so I didn't get the answer. What's a good wattage limit?
Oh, I'd say 1,000 watt.
1,000 watts. Okay, so anything over 1,000 watts might be a little.
Yeah.
Might be a little risky.
1,000 watt, like you could go 35 miles an hour on it.
All right. It does say we're supposed to keep. It says top speeds 28 miles per hour.
Yeah.
To still be considered a bike.
And 28 is pretty fast. I mean, 28. I still like to be able to go like low 30s, like when I need to. But 28 is still.
I feel like that's comparable to somebody who could just ride their bike really fast.
Yeah, if you had a nice $10,000 carbon fiber road bike, absolutely, you can you can maintain 30 miles an hour.
All right, should we move on? So I don't know. That's the law. New laws in Arizona. If things like this pop up, I'm just gonna talk about them. We don't have to talk about them for too long, but there's always going to be new laws.
Yeah, I mean, I think this
one's not horrible, I guess.
That's generally the federal law right now. It's not like it's. I think most people are just they're putting a finer point on it and saying like, this is our stance. We have a stance. Most places don't have stances. They just accept the federal law or the state law. And now I think municipalities are saying, we actually have a stance. We're in the know. So, but it's like they're just adopting the same state. Nothing of this is like new. It's just they're actually saying, I think Gilbert is just trying to be in the news.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's all of Arizona. All right, let's talk about Onyx motorbike. So back in December, the owner of Onyx died. I don't know if you guys know about this. I'm sure you heard about Onyx. What was his name? James Catablu. So, like, I knew that. I mean, I heard about him dying. You heard about him dying before, right? I think we just talked about it kind of.
I don't know if we talked about it on the show though, but. Yeah,
he was 37. He
was young, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I was like, whoa, 37. Like that's sad. I mean, that's crazy.
But now we're just hearing about kind of like the fallout of after his passing, and basically how nobody owns this company, and even while he was alive, they were just accruing a bunch of debt, getting lots of loans and legal problems, and so now there's all these assets in the company itself that's just sitting there without an owner, there's just a lot of hubbub and controversy over who gets what from Onyx, and if they're even going to still be a company.
Well, I don't think they're going to be a company. I think they're already out. I mean, we had Onyx come into our shop that we were trying to repair on, and the customer was like, I can't get it. There's nobody there. They did their own research and was like, I can't get.
Was that the one with the fob that needed the fob?
Yeah. And so they're like, you can't. There's no one there. There's no one answered the phone. And so we're like, oh, okay, I guess they're out. And they were the one that were saying like, they went. So they brought it to us so we could just try to hack it essentially. But yeah, this is interesting because he was so young. He didn't even have a will or anything. So the company is just in limbo. They're just like they don't know where it's going to go, and the creditors are trying to say like, well, it should be our company since they owe us millions of dollars.
I mean, it's still like staff some money, creditors.
Yeah. I mean it is weird.
And then there's customers out there that like made a purchase and they want reimbursement for whatever.
It's going to be a long, hard fought battle for lawyers everywhere. I mean, who knows what the company is valued at. I mean, I know he owes $2.2 million to somebody, but I'm sure this company's probably valued at like $50 million. It's probably worth, if not more. I don't know. Onyx is a cool bike because I feel like they were like a mix between Super 73 and Sur-Ron. Like when they first came out, they were kind of doing some cool stuff, and I've been watching them for a while. And they were kind of cool. They were putting out their RCR, the 72 volt stuff that could do 50, 60 miles an hour and giant battery packs. I mean, they were kind of cool. It was really, and the pricing wasn't insane. It was like $3 or $4 for something that could do 60 miles an hour and go 50, 60 mile realistic range. But yeah, it is interesting when you get companies like this that just go under. What happens? I mean, it's sad to say, but
it's happening a lot.
It happens a lot, and that's when you buy a pre-made e-bike, maybe, and it's not only because somebody died or something, but it could be because so many businesses are just going out of business. You get so many e-bike. I get calls all the freaking time about, hey, I bought this e-bike. I can't get any support from them, and sometimes they're still in business, but you just can't. It's as if they are out of business. So, yeah, just I don't know. Be wary. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything to take away from that, but I mean, it's another sad story, and I
just thought it was something interesting.
And it is interesting. I mean, yeah, for sure.
I
couldn't stop reading that. I was like, wow, this is it was a philosophical conundrum, I guess, or a legal conundrum, really. But yeah.
Let's say what's up to some people in the chat.
Yeah. What's going on?
So Bolvenaire, what's your name? Bolvenary. Anyways, he said that we should start a podcast. What do you think?
Podcast. What would be the benefit of that over this?
And also, I
don't know.
I just take the audio, or maybe he's talking to somebody else. You guys gotta know when we're like reading the comments, we think that it's directed.
Oh yeah.
To us and not just.
He's probably talking to somebody else. Like, you should do a podcast.
He's talking to Water Boys of CFL in Orlando. How's it going? Luke Walker's here.
What's up, Luke?
James Harrison.
What's up, James?
David Hunt from New York City.
Yeah.
Waterboy says he's picking up a scooter tomorrow. Today's hot A. Combined 5,600 watts. I'll be dead by the weekend. I don't know what any of that means, but
I don't know. I like to think that he was optimistic. It's like I'll be dead by like he's saying it with a smile, not like I'll be dead by the weekend.
Yeah. Who, Michael Sprinzalis, Sky Mage, Oz. I don't know if we want to name everybody, but time to fly 74 afternoon. What's up, peeps? Hernando Sportsman's Club. All right, I think I said every name almost. If I missed you, feel free to say you missed me.
Send some hate.
But I think we forgot to mention that if you're considering buying an electric bike, let us know. Like, start talking about it in the chat right now, because we'll do kind of like live. We'll pull it up and we'll check it out and help you maybe make a decision.
Yeah,
and compare it to like something that we might do instead. We're not gonna try to talk you out of it, but at least we could help do like a little bit of due diligence if there's a bike you're considering buying.
Yeah, or even if there's a bike that you're kind of interested in that's kind of new to the market, or one that's super popular that you've been seeing a lot and you're like kind of interested. I love this. I love doing where giving an alternative, like, because every time I see a cool bike, like I saw the Ristretto. Somebody showed me a Ristretto the other day and I was like, that was a cool bike. But I'm like, I'd rather build it though. Like, and how would I build it? That's where my brain immediately starts going to. And so I would love to see if you guys are thinking about doing, if you're looking at a bike, you're interested in a bike, or you're thinking about buying a bike, whatever, feel free to put it in the chat right here and we could do you could do this, or at least play devil's advocate and say, or you could maybe do this for a comparable one, for comparable price, better mileage, whatever, and at least give you an option. Pointing out which bike we would use, what motor, battery, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's cool.
Sky Mage says they're building theirs from scratch.
Who?
Sky Mage. Sky Mage.
He's building the frame?
It just says building it from scratch.
Well, if you're building it from scratch, like you're fabricating the frame and everything, then I don't know if I can. I don't want to persuade you to not do it. I love it when people are building their own frames, or when they buy from like one-off small frame builders. Like it's really cool because it's like nothing else out there. All right, what else is going on?
Do you want to do the bike find real quick?
Yeah, we can do a bike find. Let's jump into it.
Right now? Neighborhood bike finds. All right, there you go.
So here is a Norco. I don't know why they have this as a Norco mountain bike, because this is definitely not a mountain bike. You definitely would not want to take this. I believe this is the Norco Scene, which I don't know why they categorized it. Can you see, what does that say on the back there? I think it's a Scene. But if you guys have seen if you have seen my Scene that I converted,
see, I don't know what that says. Oh yeah, maybe
I think
Scene.
that is.
Yeah,
it's like SC3NE. But those are really comfortable bikes. I built a couple of these for my in-laws, and they're just comfortable bikes. I like them, and the low step is awesome. Definitely not mountain bikes. I would say trail bike. You could take it on hard pack trail. Super comfortable, and they got a little setup for this. $400. Like, these things go for $700, $800, $900 brand new, and they're kind of hard to find. Not a lot of bike dealers will carry this, so these are kind of a harder bike to find. So this is a good deal, I would say, for $400. It's really easy to upgrade the brakes and all that. So if you're in the Tacoma, Washington area, this is a good bike. Hit this person up. It was posted 25 days ago. Man, people don't know. People don't know what's up.
What would you, did you say what you would put on this bike?
Oh, what I would do, you know what? I would probably start going with that DMO2 motor. It depends on what you were going for, but what I would do, like, to make it into like a nice, easygoing commuter, I'd put a DMO2 motor on it. It would hang down really low because that thing's got a cable guide underneath the bottom bracket, but I would shave that down. I would shave that off down so that the motor would swing up. I'd probably put a DMO2 motor on it, and then probably a Slim Shark backpack, just so I could get, like that 30, 40 mile range. And yeah, I'd just call it a day. That would set me back like $700 plus the bike, $400. Maybe at $1,100 to have a killer e-bike. Super comfortable, something that could still do 25, 30 miles an hour and have a 40, 50 mile range realistically, because that 500 watt motor isn't going to pull a lot. So that's what I would do. If I had this bike and if I had room for another bike in my garage, I would get that one. And it's an XL. XLs are kind of hard to find. But if you're a taller person, like 6'1" or bigger, this would be a good bike for you.
Spinzella says that he's running out of room in his bedroom.
Yeah, you're in New York City. Like that's it's hard to have a bike collection hobby there, unless you got to have wall hangers everywhere. Just bikes hanging on every single wall. But cool. All right.
Oops. Neighborhood. Sorry about that. Bike finds. There you go.
All right. Really quick, I wanted to talk about a little bit about shop news too. I'm working on trying to get some UL certified batteries. I'm getting the potted batteries. They're being produced. I'm also working on getting some UL certified batteries getting produced. And I'm also working on getting some of the Grin satiator chargers, because I've been getting a lot. I've been getting a lot of requests for the 80, 90, 100%. And different charge rates. I have the amp selectable charger, which is like 1 through 5 amp, but it's only 100%. So you have to either unplug it before it gets to 100% or whatever. But the satiator will allow you to charge it from anywhere from 1 to 8 amps, I believe, and set it to whatever percentage you want, which is super nice. And it's fanless, so you don't have to worry about like something covering it up and it getting too hot or anything like that. So I'm going to have that option, and then I'm also going to be working on a cheaper charger that's going to have 80, 90, 100%, and then it'll be a lot cheaper. The satiator is going to be like $300, so that's pretty expensive for a lot of people, but it is by far the best charger out there. But I also want to have a cheaper version of it that probably will be a fan. I have a fan in it, but that'll be a little bit cheaper. Thanks, Aaron. Looks like Aaron just did a super chat. Appreciate that.
He's wondering, do you think it's a good idea to build a 60-volt, 300-watt motor on a small... Huh?
3,000 watt.
What did I say?
He said 300.
Oh. On a small foldable steel frame, 14-inch tires. Do you think it will be a good idea?
Oh, man. So it all depends on the bike. So it all depends on, especially a folding bike. They come in all different qualities. So you may want to email me the bike in question. Don't cheap out on it, especially if you're going 3,000 watt on it. You want to get a bike that is of very good quality. Don't put it on like a $250 folding bike that you got on Amazon. If you're putting that kind of power to it, you want to get something of good quality that can handle that power. 3,000 watt, that's well above the legal limit, and it's way, I would say, more than what a bicycle is designed to handle natively. So you could still handle it, but you got to be really in control of it and be really precise with how you're putting that power on it, so you're not breaking chains, going through your cassette and breaking your frame and stuff like that, especially on a folding bike, because there's pivot points and those are going to be your weak points. So it's a good idea if you need 3,000 watts, if you need something to go 40 miles an hour, and if that bike is in good condition, it's a good quality made bike, then I would say sure. 60 volt is kind of a weird voltage, I would say. If you're going to put it like an X1, I don't know, I'm kind of curious what, you said even if it's a steel frame. If it's a steel frame, obviously that's good. Steel frame would definitely be the best material to use, but it's still the hinge points. I mean, if they cheaped out on it, if they just put a steel, just saying it's steel doesn't mean that it's good quality. We don't know what the rest of the components are. We don't know what the hinges are made of, what they look like, are they made well? What bike is it? I don't know. You could maybe send a link or something. We could pull it up.
Yeah. Also, from now on though, you guys, if you have something to say, you have to send $2. I'm just joking, Aaron. Like, that's awesome. You don't have, if you could keep talking just regular through the chat without, you don't have to send.
Each comment requires a donation. No. Yeah. We appreciate it though. It's very kind of you.
It'll go to me.
Yeah.
To the effects, to the sound effects.
Mm-hmm. Have you been building in the sound effects yet?
No, not yet.
None?
Now we have a budget.
So
now we got a budget.
I was working off of that. There was no sound effects accompanying stuff.
No.
Dang it. But yeah, 60 volt is a weird voltage because I feel like it's a little bump over the 52 volt, but it's not quite 72. So I would say if you're not going to use 52 volt, just go up to 72 volt and just make sure, because usually a 60 volt system, usually it'll handle 72 volts. Like the voltage range is usually between 45 and 84 volts it'll accept. So you might as well go full 72.
I'm going to say he wants to do a BBSHD. So that means you have to get the controller?
High voltage controller. Yeah. So yeah. There'd be a lot into that, but if you're going to go BBS HD plus the high voltage controller, you're looking at $1,300, something like that. I mean, you're looking at quite a bit. You might as well just get the X1 Pro at that point. In my opinion, same price, but it's torque sensing. It's a nice motor, but it is loud. If you want quietness, BBS HD maybe. There's a lot of different. We could spend a lot of time on this, going over like which one is which, but we need to have that decision tree. I need to make that where it's like, if you want this, go this way, and then this.
I forgot who asked this, but somebody did. What's the best way to avoid the motor slowly creeping into the cable guide? Could you wedge a piece of rubber in between or something?
Now you're talking about. Oh, thanks, David. We'll get to you in 1 second.
Thanks, David.
So he's talking about the motor. So here's the bike frame, and then your BBS HD. He's talking about coming up and hitting the cables. Is that what he's describing? Is that what
best way to avoid motor slowly creeping into the cable guide?
Yeah. First of all, I would take the cables here, reroute them so that they can't get pinched. The motor should be snug up against the frame. First of all, it should be touching the frame, and then tighten down those lock nuts. So, to tighten them down really good like a lug nut, so that it won't come down and start doing this. That's what you want to avoid. If it is doing that, get a torque arm. I sell them at JohnnyNerdOut.com. They're like $12 or $13, and that'll keep it steady. Otherwise, reroute the cables. Otherwise, if worst case scenario, every bike frame is different. I do have motor frame spacers on the website too. They're just like that thick. That'll go in there and keep it from going there. Yeah, there you go. So that's
torque
arm. There you go. I got so that's a light duty one. And then the heavy duty one, it doesn't have that lightning bolt. We found that if you're really pushing these motors hard, that lightning bolt can be a weak spot.
Yeah.
So if you just need a little boost, or if you're not really pushing it really hard, the light duty one's good. But if you're going off road, high voltage stuff, go heavy.
But if you like the lightning bolt,
you
just get two or three of them.
Yeah, which we've done before. So cool. All right, let's get to David. What was David saying? Price, no object. How would you build your dream folding e-bike? Man.
Have you dreamt about this before?
Yeah, I actually was going to build one. So I think in my dream, it might be different from everybody else. I wanted a folding bike so that I could just literally throw it in the back of my wagon. I wanted to have two. I wanted to have one for me and one for my wife. So I wanted to have two folding bikes so we didn't have to get the whole production up to go. So I'd probably go with either a Brompton, or I've actually had really good luck with, I might get a lot of hate on this, with the Bikes Online brand. I think it's a Polygon. I bought one for like $500 or $600, I want to say. I think it's like 6 or 7 if you want hydraulic brakes. And I was like pretty impressed with it. I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't even go, I'm not trying to spend a whole bunch of money, but I would want something that folded up nice. I'd get a small saddlebag to put it underneath there, and I'd probably just go with like a DMO2 motor on it. That would be my dream build. I want to keep it super lightweight. I want to keep it so that the folding mechanisms still work, or at least 100, like close to 100%, so I can still use it and get in the back of my car. So my dream build with, no money option would still be, I don't know, $1,200, including the bike.
Money is limitless, though. That's what Dave was saying.
Yeah, I don't care. You know what? I don't. I know. That's still what I would do. But that's me. That's my dream. But if your dream is like, I want to.
Your dream is like putting some money aside into savings.
yeah.
Save up for retirement.
Yeah. No, but it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this bike, David? Are you trying to do a cross country?
We're not talking about David here. We're talking about you.
Well, that's what my dream is: taking it, putting it in the back of my wagon, taking it to the coast, and then going camping with it, and having my bikes taking up no space in my car, so that I could still have all that room for everything else.
And like being able to sleep at night if it gets stolen, you're like, oh, I only put $1,500 into it.
No, I mean, I'm not even really thinking about that. I'd
I'm
still
just
lock it up. But
I'm
yeah,
just
I mean, I don't know. I'd probably maybe a Photon. Actually, I'd probably do a Photon if.
I thought you didn't like photons. I thought you did like.
I hate it when people do that. I know you don't like fat bikes. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, fat bikes are awesome.
Let's see, Water Boys of CFL. Maybe that's Central Florida. Anyways, it says, got a question for you, Johnny. You inspired me to build my own bike, and I did. Everything cool for about a year, and one of the 320 amp hour batteries just stopped taking a charge. One of the three. Any suggestions on where to send the battery to get fixed?
Man.
So I guess I'd say wherever you got it from, right?
Yeah.
Well,
generally, that's the best course of action.
Or yeah, just see if there should. Hopefully, it's only been a year. Maybe there's still a warranty, or I don't know. I would start there for sure.
Yeah, definitely the place where you bought them from. Otherwise, I mean, there was a place in Vegas that did it, but I don't know if they're still in business. The electric bike marketplace. I bought like 10 batteries from them to try out, and like every single one of them had a problem, and then they just ghosted me. So I was like, okay, so I guess I'm not buying any. I just tried out a batch, and I was like, your first thing, and then you just ghosted me. So they used to repair batteries, but I can't vouch for them at all. So I don't know. Good question. But what do I think of the battery manufacturer EM3 EV? I like them a lot. The only thing is that they're in China, so if you have any issues with it, like you can't ship it back. But I think they make really good quality stuff. I like them a lot. I used to carry them. It was just really painfully slow to get their stuff, and yeah. But yeah, I like them. I like EM3 for sure. One of my first batteries I got was a 52 volt triangle pack. It was like a 26 amp hour I got from them. It's great. It had the Bluetooth BMS in it, which I've never used, but still kind of cool. But yeah, I'll vouch for EM3. Yeah, like Luke says, buy local.
Local. Okay, Rick says, where do you guys buy your donor bikes if you don't see what you're looking for on Craigslist or Marketplace? Maybe he's asking that just overall.
Yeah. I think those are like the two. I guess there's like Pink Bike.
There's estate sales, garage sales.
Yeah.
Like you could find like people are just, their bikes have just been sitting in their garage and they're like, just give me $100 for it.
I always feel like I've yet to come across a good find though at a garage sale, and I'm always like, I always see like a string of bikes, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's got to be a gold mine in there, and I go there and there's nothing, and I'm like, man. And I went to an estate sale, like a couple weekends ago. They had this old Schwinn Kmart bike from like, it was rusted, and they had it up for $75, and I was like, they probably paid $75 for this brand new back in 1996. I was like, people have no idea what a bike should go for. I mean, for good or bad. But yeah.
David says, I want to get a Brompton T-Line with a 500-watt front hub motor, 9-speed cogs, and build it under 20 pounds.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Brompton T-Line, are we still talking about the folding bikes?
Yeah, Brompton's a really good folding bike manufacturer. I would say there's like the Montagues, and then there's the Bromptons, and then there's everybody else pretty much.
I pulled up the Montagues while we are talking about it. So these actually do look kind of cool. So
they look like normal bikes, but
they
fold up.
Huh?
Those are like 26-inch wheels, I think.
That's kind of cool. Any issues with throwing a mid-drive in there?
No, I've done them before. I mean, sometimes your folding mechanism can be a little weird. It's mounting the battery that's the issue. So I don't know. Sometimes the folding, because you're adding some girth in some places where that stuff, and every bike is different, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I guess probably just need a rack battery, right? Because I mean,
yeah, and you could mount the battery on that rack, which I did on the first Montague I did. But the thing is on that Montague I did, that rear rack doubles as a kickstand because there's no kickstand on this. So you unhook it, you unhinge it, and it flips down. and then you stand up on the rack. It's actually really cool. But you can't mount a battery to it because it's really easy to unhinge it. So that battery would just easily unhinge.
So you wouldn't put a battery on the rack?
Not on this one. So I did, but then I rendered that thing unusable. I rendered it so that it wouldn't unhook.
Yeah. Here's some other bikes that we were talking about. So a few hunting bikes were brought up. Face Off?
Yeah, man, I was just talking. Did I talk to you today? This guy was just telling me about this. I had a consultation today, and he's like, build me out a hunting bike, a fat tire hunting bike, for like $2,000 to $2,500. So I built him out, I spec'd him out, the North Rock with a BBS HD, everything. It was like $2,400. Like everything spec'd out with Tannis inserts, deluxe light kit, rear rack, everything was like $2,400. And yeah, and then this is like 47, but.
So how much did you say?
$2,400.
Oh. Okay.
But it doesn't have a suspension front fork. But what you could get, like that suspension front fork is like $200. So for like $2,600, you could have a very similar.
So this has a M620 Ultra, 1,000 watt mid drive.
Yeah.
30 amp hour. Right.
It's a 48 volt. Yeah, 48 volt, 30 amp hour.
Yep.
Which I would rather do 52 volt, 25 amp hour.
Yeah.
Which is about the same capacity. Roughly.
So basically, you're spending a couple $1,000s more. What are you getting for that?
You're getting the battery into the frame.
Oh yeah, that I guess, but it still just looks like an even bigger battery.
Yeah,
like that.
It's exactly. It's even bigger, and you got all that metal now, so you're adding weight and bulk to the overall thing. Like this thing weighs. Does it say how much it weighs? Is it 80 or 90 pounds? Like I could build something that would be about 60, 65 pounds. You know, it'd be 20 to 30% lighter weight, having the same capabilities,
I'm not
power,
seeing a weight.
everything.
I'm not seeing a weight. But it's pretty cool looking. I mean, it seems cool. I mean, it's yeah.
All right.
Well, Pro bikes. And then there's this. Somebody brought up sturdy cycles. I don't think they're not.
Oh, titanium? Cool. I haven't heard of them.
Some.
That's a cool chain ring.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is cool. Get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. It's got to get
it out of there. Hang it on the wall.
Get that out of there and put a motor in it. But that is cool. I like that. That's cool. Titanium bikes. It's kind of like Priority, where they're all about belt drives. It's cool to have when you have a shop like this or a company that they specialize in something, whether it's like titanium stuff. It's like that. It's kind of cool. I like knowing that places like this are out there.
We got
another one. We got Calef?
Kale F.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, thank you. What's going on? 132 miles on my DMO1, and it started making a whining, grinding noise. In contact with 27 via email. Now troubleshooting. It's kind of funny. I just had one get brought into me. I just shipped it out today. Kind of similar. The customer said, I think it's the main bearing went bad. I tore it all apart this morning. I spent all day today just tearing apart the motor, getting it all there. I think it could be that grease. They put that white grease in there, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's like tacky gum almost. I think that's what Bafang was using when they start using them. So I would take the motor apart, try to wipe out. It's very easy. It's very easy to service these motors. They're just like the Bafang. You want to just wipe out all that white grease, get it all out there, get a high grade synthetic lube or even like a Park Tool poly lube, and just replace it with something and see if that takes care of it. And maybe even take like some Tri-Flow and just go around all the bearings and just work them in and just rub them and everything. And that seemed like it took care of it for me, because when I first got in there, I didn't really notice anything, and it only happens under load. And obviously, I didn't want to do a whole install on a thing just to test it, so I just took everything apart and just kind of cleaned it. But I noticed that it did feel a little bit better once I took some Tri-Flow to the bearings and I removed all the white grease and I put in some better stuff. So you might want to do that. I mean, it's all it is just time. If you already have the grease, otherwise it's like $5 or $10 for a thing of high quality synthetic gear lube.
Super sticky grease, showing some browning and burning. Yep. David Hunter said that he asked Tom Sturdy to build him a custom folding titanium bike, and he quoted him $20,000.
Whoa.
John, what would you do instead?
Man.
Would you get the, hold on, this one? Dude, this is get a Brompton?
I see, but, okay, this one
Go with the
compared
Brompton.
to it. Okay, I don't want to put labels on, but I do think this one looks a little dorkier, right?
It's a little
than
dorky
the
one, yeah.
Montague.
Yeah.
And go to the Polygon. Go to Bikes Online and look up the Polygon folding bikes. I kind of really like those ones.
Polygon
folding bike.
Folding bike.
Yeah, I think
That's not it.
No, you didn't type in folding bike.
I'll do it later.
Yeah, come back to it. But I think that one might be my favorite. Show everybody the Polygon. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and Luke's got a point. I mean, the titanium is awesome, but for 20 grand, it ain't worth it. There we go.
Well, it's like a piece of art, right? Because if it's custom built and it
Absolutely, and that's
and
what
if it's like a sought after artist, bike artist,
Right. Exactly. I mean, if you have the money, so if money is no object.
Money's not an option.
Yeah, if that's your hobby, maybe 20 grand it's all right. I mean, maybe it's not. I don't know. I mean, for me, I think for most people, like spending 20 grand on a folding bike probably is not in the cards. But something like that Urbano Polygon, I think that's my favorite one just by looks, and it's got decent specs. Yeah, it actually has decent specs. I think folding bikes are hard to just make look cool, anyways. So, I don't know. But that Urbano, it's like the coolest of the nerdy bikes, I guess.
Urbano.
That means urban. Cool. So hopefully we got to that. Appreciate it. Thanks for all those super chats. That was nice of everybody.
Yeah, it was cool. Guess I'm gonna be eating good.
I think David's gonna get that titanium. He said he's drunk on titanium. So once you get the fever, once you get your mind, once you get like I need to have this, like you get obsessed over something, it's hard to get off of it. And usually you're drawn to it for a reason. And if you have the money to do it, obviously don't sell a kidney to do it. But if you have the money and it's not going to put you out,
wait, how many kidneys do we have? 2, right?
Yeah.
What do you need 2 kidneys for?
That's true.
You do need like 2,
I had
3
mine
bikes.
removed so I could put it in a jar just in case.
Oh, okay.
So that it's there if I ever need it.
Someone kept yelling out the Prodigy Ride One Up. What's your thoughts on this?
It looks like a decent bike. We talked about this one.
Yeah,
right?
we did, right? Is this the one that came into the shop? We worked on this one.
Did we?
Maybe not the same one.
It was very similar. I think it was like their old version that they couldn't get support on. We do a lot of bikes like this where they're like, the controller went, and then I contacted the company, and it's a discontinued model, and they don't have access to this anymore, so it's essentially a paperweight, and so that's when we usually convert these bikes into mid-drives. I don't remember if this one was it or not, but...
wait, does this one have a mid-drive on it?
I think it does.
It does? Yeah, this is with the mid-drive.
I mean, it looks decent, and I mean, for $1,800, I mean, for $1,800, I would build something much more powerful and beefier spec-wise. But if you had to, if you're giving something as a gift to somebody, on paper, it looks like a decent bike. Yeah, it's got the Bros motor, but yeah, I just don't like having locked in anything, like motors that you can't change. If settings are bad, you're just stuck. I don't like any of that. Nothing about that is appealing to me. Even if it's mid-drive, it's like it's a locked-in mid-drive. Cool. What else we got going on?
Do you want me to open up the phone line?
Yeah. Why don't we see what's going on? I liked it. Everybody's been giving us some good bikes to look up. That was kind of cool.
Maybe we should do this like every week. We got nothing else going on. I got a computer right in front of me. So
that's true. You could look stuff up.
Pull them up and talk about it.
Yeah, like I never heard of that titanium. What was the name of it again? I already forgot it.
Tom Sturdy, I think.
Sturdy? I think it was Sturdy.
Sturdy Cycles.
Yeah. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what their pre-made e-bikes were going for. Do you still have that up? Like, Obviously, all their bikes can't be going for 20 grand.
Well, I don't think he makes e-bikes.
No, but just a regular bike that you could convert.
Oh, it was like 8,000 pounds. Euros. It was in euros. What's that? That's like $10,000?
$60. Somewhere between 60 and 10,000.
Yeah, it was in...
Oh, he says it's all custom.
They're all custom.
So he's just... All right, so I guess he makes them one-off. That's cool. That's a cool business
Well, I mean,
model.
but there is... Looks like there's some you could just buy here. There it is. 800... what is that? Leos? Lears?
Smackers?
I think it's Lails?
Those are $8,000 bucks.
$bucks.
Ooh, look at that chain ring. That's cool, man.
Yeah, that's cool. It says reserve years, so maybe they're not.
Is that just like $8,000 reserve price? I don't know. Those are cool bikes. I dig it, man. I say go for it, David. Don't ask permission, just do it.
And then
do they engrave your name on it too? Look at that bottom left. Scroll up a little bit. Get my head out of there. See that, dude?
Jed? Maybe Jen Pineda?
Jed Pineda? I think that's the owner's name.
Is it? Are you sure it's not Sturdy? I think his name's Sturdy.
Right, but I think he engraves the customer.
Oh, the bike owner's name.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right.
I mean, you could
dig it.
You dream it, you could build it. You could engrave anything.
Yeah. Okay, so Fizzle's talking about Jones bikes. We were talking about Jones bikes last week, I think, right? Weren't we?
What, last week? What was that? What day was that?
It was last week. Yeah, there's a lot of cool. But I'm glad that there's still bike makers out there. People still making bike, not trying to hump the e-bike dream. I feel like there's just so many people trying to jump on that bandwagon, making crappy bikes and just pedaling crappy bikes. We need more people innovating bikes. All right, we got a call.
Call from
Kimo.
Kimo?
To accept, press 1. To send a voice...
Hey, Kimo. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Hey,
Doing good.
Hey, just, man, I really love your channel. I just kind of stumbled into you guys and just been watching every single video I can.
Sweet.
I'm looking at doing a first conversion, and I don't have a bike. I'm looking at the Trek Roscoe 8 or the Marlin 8.
Cool, both good bikes.
Trek. Just wondering what you guys would recommend. I'm going to be using the bike to go up. I'm from Hawaii. I live over here, and so I'm going to be going up into the mountains and stuff, camping and different things like that, and looking just for something that's going to help me get up some of these steeper hills and things like that.
Yeah. My first gut, my knee-jerk reaction is people always want to get the highest trim of the Marlin and the Roscoe, and then they end up regretting it because they do a consultation with me, and then I say, oh, man, I wish you wouldn't have gotten that one. I wish you wouldn't have gotten the 12-speed version or the 11-speed version, because then you have to get chain rings that bring the chain line in. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think, because at a certain point you're paying for, the 12-speed setup, which you actually kind of don't want. I don't recommend it. I'd say 10-speed most, which I think is like the Marlin 7, might even be the 6.
Yeah, I think the 6 and the 7 have.
Yeah, I would save your money and get that, because when you start getting to 10, 11, 12 speeds, you're actually doing yourself a disservice, and you're paying for it. You're paying out the nose for something that a lot of people end up just taking off and downgrading for something that works with a mid-drive setup. You are going mid-drive, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the mid-drives. Do you have a motor and battery that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, are you bent on torque sensing? Is there a motor that you're thinking about?
No, I'm not. I'm actually really new to this. Like I said, I just barely found your channel, and I'm pretty much sold on doing my own conversion. So
I still think a good beginner motor is the BBS02, because it puts out 750 watts. It's the maximum amount of power that's still technically legal, and it's just totally programmable. It's tunable. It allows you to, like, if you're not happy with one of the settings, You could easily change it. It's the number one selling mid-drive motor on the planet. So there's tons of information on how to, customize it, get service, warranty, repair stuff. I mean, it's just, for the first timer, it's a great motor. And it'll still power you over 30 miles an hour if you gear it right. It'll still climb up a brick wall if you gear it right. I mean, I just feel like it's the best bang for the buck, I would say. And then, its bigger brother is the BBS HD, which kind of, kind of expands on that. Like, you could overvolt it. You could get controllers that turn it into a 72 volt system, things like that. But, maybe baby steps. Maybe just start with the BBS02. And I would get 8 to 10 speeds. Look at the Marlin or the Roscoe. Find out which bike is going to fit you better. The Roscoe's got those fatter tires, so it's better for trails. The Marlin, you could still put fairly fat tires on it, but it's going to be a little bit more lightweight. And I think it's a little bit more affordable, too. You could save a little bit more money on it.
For sure.
Yeah. So you could probably get like a Marlin 5 or 6, which I would personally recommend. If you're starting from scratch, if you don't already have it, I would say look at the 5 or 6. Don't even worry about the hydraulic brakes. Maybe that would be a good time to get the mechanical disc brake version of it. Buy the hydraulic disc brake set that works with the motor, with the Bafang motor. It's made for that motor for it's $90 instead of paying for like a $200 option from the factory. Do it yourself, and it works with that motor system. So that's what I would do.
Sweet. And then and just real quick. So can you run 52 volts on that BBS02?
Yeah, the BBS02 does not have the same kind of voltage problem that the BBS HD tends to have. The BBS02, I've not had a motor have a problem running 48 or 52 volt. You could go side by side and run them both. The BBS HD, they're either programmed to be 48 or 52 volt. Sometimes the 48 volt version has no problem running 52 volts. Sometimes it does. And I don't know, maybe somebody out there knows there's like a batch or there's like a string that they do. Anyways, I'm constantly changing 48 volt controllers to 52 volt controllers via firmware. But you could always spec it, or you could always ask me like, hey, I want the 48 volt version, I want the 52 volt. If you're going to order that and if you have a preference, you could always just message me or whatever, and I could get you the right voltage one. Yeah. But, I don't know. It does, 48 volt or 52 volt. 52 volt if you want a little bit extra pop, a little bit extra power.
Sweet.
Yeah, might as well just go 52 volt. That way you won't have any regrets.
Yeah. And then, do you know anywhere that will ship batteries to Hawaii? I noticed on your site you don't.
Yeah, I don't. I've tried in the past, and it's been... Luckily, the people that I've shipped to have been really cool, but they're like, "Oh,
where?
To Hawaii."
To Hawaii.
And they're like, "It's stuck at the facility in Hawaii, and I gotta, puddle jump over to the main facility sorting thing and get them." And fortunately, my customers have been super cool about that, but I don't do it anymore because it's, I don't know. I think EM3 EV. We were just talking about them earlier. I don't know if you were listening to that, but EM3EV.com. I recommend their batteries, and I'm pretty sure they could ship to you no problem.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, if you want to get good quality stuff, I would just do that.
Awesome. Hey, I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for calling. What is it, like 4 o'clock there?
Yep, just right about 4 o'clock.
Was that
you
PM?
guys are it's what, 8 o'clock over there in Utah?
No, we're in Portland, Oregon. It's 7 o'clock.
Oh, my bad. I thought you guys were in Utah.
No. I started there, but I haven't been there in 2 years now, probably 3 years.
Well, you visited like a few months ago.
That's true.
What time was it?
Awesome, man.
All
right, cool, man. Hey, have a good one. Thanks for calling. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Hey, yep, mahalo.
Yeah, mahalo.
Take care.
I do so many consultations. Oh, what, you had something?
Well, I'm just wondering because I want to be devil's advocate and just say go with an HD. Why not just? I mean, if you got the few extra bucks to just get extra power, why not? Why not?
Yes, you could go HD if money isn't really so much of a problem, and you think you may want to upgrade it later. You want to get a little bit more power later.
I mean, isn't it worth it? Just stock. I mean, you're like. There's more like higher top speeds, right?
It's about the same. They're
really?
geared differently. Yeah, there's different. So there's different motor RPM. And you could argue that the BBS02, I think it has a higher RPM when it spins. So if you're going for speed, the BBS02 would probably be better for speed. If you're putting it like on a road bike or something, but if you're doing, I'd say low end grunt and towing stuff, go BBS HD. But it sounded like he was just doing trail.
So like on so no benefit in getting an HD, like going off road and climbing up.
There would be.
mountains
I
and
mean, it'd probably be less prone to overheating if you're running it really hard. This is the other thing too. Yeah, this was a light consultation. I would say, hey, are you going to be running it hard? Are you throttle jockey? Are you pulling it like max power all the time? If you're somebody like that and you're going to go like up doing hills and stuff, BBS HD might be the better way to go. But if you're, I don't know, if you're starting, Shane may have a point. You may want to go BBS HD.
Hey, not my point. I'm just wondering. don't change his mind. That like negates like the whole purpose of him calling in. Go with the O2.
All right.
Do we want to take this? I think we're running low on time here.
Yeah, we started 2 minutes late. So
take it or no? Yeah or no?
Yeah, go. Let's go for it.
Call from
Liam.
Ram?
I think
to
you said Liam.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
I say Liam.
Liam?
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
How are you?
What's going on?
I was wondering. I have a question. I wanted to have a shop like y'all. I was wondering how much would it cost to have a shop in New York?
In New York? I don't know. I mean, do you have any inventory, or like, are you just wanting to? What are you wanting to do? What kind of shop are you wanting to run?
Like a shop like yours, like an e-bike shop.
Well, so I would recommend check out my video on. I have a video up on should you open up your own e-bike shop. Funny enough, but you should check that out. You can search it on my channel. I would recommend doing the same way that I did, following my footsteps. Just start off by buying one kit at a time. Do it out of your garage or out of your friend's garage, and charge whatever fee you can get. First of all, you get good at it. Get very good at being familiar with motors and the bikes and everything. So if you're not good at it yet, do 100 bikes. However you got to go about getting 100 bikes, maybe do them for like $100 a pop. Whatever you could get, you know these bikes inside and out. Then start thinking about opening up a shop. Where's your skill level at on a scale from like 1 to 10?
1 meaning the highest, right?
No, one's the lowest.
10, yeah, low. 1's the lowest, 10's the highest. Like, have you done how many conversions have you done?
I'm at 1.
All right, so so you've got at least 1 under your belt, so at least you're somewhat familiar. I would talk to as many friends, people, put an ad up on Craigslist, Marketplace, whatever you can do to do as many conversions as possible, and charge. Maybe take a discount because you're new at it. You're gonna probably do a discount for it, and just try to do as many conversions as you can. Once you get to 100, see if you still want to do it. See if you still like it and if you still enjoy it.
Or you could follow in my footsteps. Just get a friend that already has a shop.
There
I'll save you a few dollars probably.
Yeah. Those are the 2 ways to go.
Okay. I didn't know you had a video up about it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much it's a short video. It's maybe 10 minutes long, but I kind of talk about how I got started and how I kind of turned into this. It just was, a hobby that I was doing. I mean, I was doing it professionally for somebody else, and then I went away for a little bit, and then I came back and I hated my job, and so I just started doing it on my own, and then I just kind of talk about how I did it. Every time I would take half of that money aside and reinvest it into your business. Eventually, I was able to build a little shed in my backyard that I was working out of, and then I was just having 3 or 4 conversions a week coming to my backyard, which was really cool and really weird, but it was really cool. And then, it just snowballs. But always be saving some money and putting it towards buying more. So you could buy, the more you buy, the cheaper it is per unit. Yeah. So
you don't need a shop.
Yeah, you don't need a shop.
Build the experience. Find some cool bikes and do some cool
work out of your kitchen. I mean,
some cool bikes. And
we got so many pictures of me in my daughter's room with all of my warehouse was my daughter's bedroom when I first started. The whole wall was just nothing but bike parts, and that's where I was working out of. And then I graduated to a storage unit for like $100 a month. It was like a small one, and just slowly grow. I mean, we see this happens all the time. People take on too much debt and it cripples them. And then you're just, it's no fun anymore when you're stressed about money. So don't have any overhead. Have no overhead.
Okay.
Right on.
That's your key to success right there.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
It's good to have goals. It's good, reach.
Yeah.
No, aim high,
Having a shop eventually, I think,
One step at a time.
is a good goal for sure. But I mean, I think something that applies to him right now, when he's only got one bike under his belt, is just get as many as you can and have no oversight.
All right, we're at 7:03. I got a whole list of comments have been coming in. Do we want to run through some questions? Do some quick question Q&A?
Yeah, let's do the 2-minute lightning round version, I guess.
All right. So we got Blue Gaming. Great content, man. Quick one. I'm putting a BBS02 on a 630 Cruiser. A 630 Cruiser. Yeah. Any risk
That's
to
a
the
pre-made e-bike, isn't it?
Well, maybe
He's converting it?
Maybe, yeah. Any risk to the torque with that bike? Don't want to be on the road and it falls apart.
If it's the bike, can you pull up that bike? If it's the bike that I'm thinking of, that bike is a very light-duty e-bike. I assembled one time for somebody, and I was like, this is a light-duty e-bike. Be careful. He said he's putting a BBS O2 or an HD on it?
O2.
O2. Double check the brakes. Make sure the brakes are good. If they're the rim brake ones, like the one that I assembled I think, it was kind of sketchy. Keep the speed low. But maybe I'm thinking of a different bike.
Well, 630 has a bunch of bikes. What did he say? Oh, Cruiser. So I mean, in general, what? Just be careful. Yeah. Whatever you're doing, be careful.
Yeah. I don't know. What was it? Did I dodge the question? I feel like what should I be careful of? I was just like
Is this what you're thinking of? I don't know. Here's the Cruisers.
No, I was thinking of the pre-made. Yeah, so these are the same. Yeah, I would just be careful. Make sure that it actually has rim brakes, so they're not coaster brakes. If you're getting coaster brakes, your motor's not going to actuate the brakes in the back because it's got a freewheel crank on there, so you could just pedal backwards. It's not going to activate the coaster brakes. So just make sure you don't have coaster brakes on it. You actually have rim brakes.
Can you find out more about the Bafang IGH G500A? Quick answer.
Yeah.
Yes. Building like my.
So you can only get it with the motors. So here's the thing. I talked to my supplier about getting them. You can only buy them with the motors. It's a bundle. You can only buy them with the motors, and those motors have to be built for pre-made e-bikes. The motors are not compatible like the BBS HD O2. You have to buy it with the G510 or something like that. Ones that are made for frames to go in it. So it's really bummed.
All right, John Afferty, building like my 6th e-bike, second with BBSHD, so second e-bike with an HD, using a Moto Bacane Boris fat bike.
Nice. Moto Bacon?
Motor Bacon, 27.5 tires, so for a little better street handling over 26 by... he's just telling you what he was doing. Okay, not a question. Anyways, that sounds awesome, Mr. Afferty. Offhand air gunner. Those hardcore mountain bike guys sure hate e-bikes.
For now. I think I keep watching those videos where it's like... Yeah. I think I was gonna send you one last night, but it was like the guy. They took it from a movie quote. He's like, I worked. They said an e-biker and a mountain biker both get to the top of the hill after climbing for half a mile, and the biker's like, I worked my entire life to get here, and you you did nothing, and the e-biker's drinking a beer or whatever, and it's they're just pissed. But it's
I think I don't know. They could put in the same amount of effort, right? So somebody you put in all that work into climbing a mountain on your mountain bike. Now get a motor, put in that same energy, and you could do 2 mountains.
I think some people like climbing on their mountain bike. I don't. I've never liked it. I've always liked downhill riding and cross country riding. To me, that was always fun. But I've always liked to be going at least 15 miles an hour, whether I'm going straight down or uphill. And adding a motor on it makes it fun, whether you're going uphill or downhill.
Yeah.
Some people like climbing. I think you're psychotic. I think you're also the person that gets up and runs at 4:30 in the morning, rain or shine, 365 days a week. I think there's a screw loose in you. But, hey, everybody's got their glutton for pain.
I think that's it. I mean, the comments are coming. Awesome show. Guys, if you like if you enjoy the show, or if you're just not doing anything right now, hit the like button, please. It helps. And sorry, I know we had a couple missed calls. Sorry we didn't get to every call today.
Yeah, we had a busy show today. It was good. That was a fun show. Thanks to everybody who chimed in. Thanks for the super chats. That was super cool of you guys. And just thanks for everybody participating. That was cool. Keeping this thing just a live machine. So cool.
When are we streaming again?
I think we're going to do it next Wednesday, right?
Next Wednesday. Every Wednesday, right?
We do it every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Every Wednesday in June.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Shane, you got something for us?
I think that's it. Did you want me to say anything?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. You got to do your thing where you say goodbye.
All right. See you guys next week. Take it easy.
And don't